Hey everyone. Just wanted to let you guys know before we start that as at the time this was recorded, we were still adjusting to a technical shift we were experiencing due to different streaming hosts. That for the first 25 minutes of this stream, there is some audio issues. Everyone is still hearable, but the audio input wasn't being registered correctly, and we fixed it about 25 minutes in. But it means that while we can be heard, everyone who is not Killer 5 is really quiet. So just bear that in mind, and I don't want anyone to have their volume turned up really loud and then get startled whenever the volume suddenly gets louder and more clear. So yes, we can be heard, but we're just a little quiet for the first 25 minutes, and then we start getting it fixed about 23 minutes in, and so I just wanted to let you guys know to be prepared for that. I think that's about it. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Go ahead and enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. When we last left off, the party, with some new members in tow to replace the old, made their way deeper into the city of Laconice, where they discovered that the virus that has been turning people into shambling was made up. A ploy by some local banditry to non-lethally secure the loot in the ensuing bad weather, in the hopes of building up their fortunes enough to clear out of the city once the weather smoothed out. But, uncovering their ploy, the party snuck their way into the Laconice jailhouse, turning a few of the bandits into allies, a combination of bribery and persuasion, and successfully rescued the engineer and his good friend, boyfriend, who revealed that they can indeed reactivate the tram that will take the party more quickly up the mountain than going on foot, which could take you days, especially in the current weather conditions. But on the way out, Bryce Thorne and the bandits that had been out looting Sans, those who did not survive their encounter with the party, returned. And in his interrogation of the bandits who had let you guys by, revealed that he was aware of your position and fired with inhuman speed as Paul and Asari stepped out to confront him. I've been staying in the shadows, befuddled by this plan of action. Flower and Fall sitting proudly on Paul's shoulders. As silence rings out in the jailhouse following the gunshot, Asari, your convicted speech does manage to ring out as the shock from the gunfire and seeing that Paul appears to be thankfully uninjured. You make your case to appeal to the banditry, and after a long moment, one of them, finally giving an almost comical shrug, turns to one of the ones who does not appear as convinced and decks him. And that appears to be all it takes for the nervous silence to break out into a chaotic brawl. Those who do not remain... what's up?
Could I also have Azari look for Q and kind of like get eye contact, and as soon as I see him, I want to tell him run.
Easy enough to do. You can see that he and his father are currently in a fight with one of the bandits, but as you make this eye contact and say that, he gives a nervous nod and grabs his father, who glances to you and nods his and shoves the bandit away from you before grabbing, picking you up, swinging him into his arms and making bolt to basically hide among the chaos until it appears safe to leave. Quickly lose him in the crowd as the bandits who are not occupied fighting their comrades, as those who are on your side or who were convinced by Asari, are themselves outnumbered. And as Bryce stands confidently in the back, reloading his quick
And I posted something in the wrong chat.
Alright. Kill those.
Where is...
Okay, not bad.
There you go. Now I have it in the right chat.
Yeah, I rolled.
Y'all, I assume y'all know that scene. I don't think I need to find the words.
No, I've never seen that.
I don't know what that is.
I've never seen this meme before.
No, never.
No, but I'm the mean queen.
Alright, I'm gonna have to mute my microphone while I go... I'm gonna mute... No, wait, no, I know what I could do. I could do it from my phone.
Alright. 25 to 20?
Hang on, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, go for it.
No.
Yeah, we had that. Need some weight.
Yeah. I can just go to negative.com later.
I will probably forget about it later.
Okay, I get +3.
I don't even remember now. Oh my goodness.
That's gonna be a 4.
Well, the one.
Yes.
So 25 to 20? 20 to 15?
I got 15.
Okay.
15 to 10?
14.
You said you got a 4, Ivan?
Yes.
Alright. Flower and Fall, what'd you
It's
get?
from a comedy movie.
I got a sad roll. I got the 6.
And yeah, since you said you do not have your character sheet on hand, let me get that pulled up. I can't send it to you right now, but I'll just basically let you know. You know what you're capable of. Let you
Wait, so who's on our side and who's not? On this battle map? Because...
you guys are up top. Basically, any bandit that is occupied with someone else, whether they're for or against you, is not represented on this map. So anyone you can see is targeting you.
No, they're not. They're all facing away from us.
You know what I mean.
Hang on. No, hang on. There has to be a way to fix them.
Question.
There is a way, but it takes a while, and I didn't think it mattered.
Matthew, give me the control to do it.
Is this the big bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, roll 20.
Matthew,
Fine, I'll turn them around if it bothers you.
give me the powers to do it myself.
Give you the power to...
Also, Flower, your total initiative will be a 7.
Since you don't want to take the time, I can do it. If you let me.
I mean, like, like I'm doing it now.
Come on, Matthew. Professionalism. 100% all the time.
I mean, we're not professionals, so... we never were.
Alright. Better?
Yes, that'll work.
We're like amateurs. Let's say.
Hold on, yeah, I figured Ivan was staying in the back, so.
You know what, Austin?
Okay. Alright. With the... Alright, initiatives sorted. Flower fall there. The bandits are going first.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
As the fighting breaks out, it seems like it's mostly concentrated towards the front facing Bryce, as those closest to him seem to have been fighting to keep his own comrades from charging him. which means those towards the back of the crowd seem to be free to focus on you guys. So with that,
There's nowhere they can hide from a Vaben's range.
these two are going to charge forward, as is Thisson and Thisson. And as those four break free from the brawl, two of them are going to attack Paul, two of them are going to attack Asari. I don't have you guys' ACs noted, so Paul AC.
Let's see. 19.
Alright.
Tanky boy.
Lucky.
Paladin.
And Asari AC?
14.
I hope you have a lot of health.
And then some fun is not fun.
Alright.
Roll 20 works on the phone.
As two of the bandits charge you, still donned in their zombie accoutrement, which creates this very unusual sight. You manage to block the first strike with your shield as they try to stab you in the gut with a scimitar. And as another strike comes filling down on you, you manage to parry it and slide the sword out of the way. Asari, while you're big and strong, you're a little less experienced in frontline combat. So as you get charged, you fare significantly worse. As the first one charges, you try to hold up your arms to defend yourself, but their scimitar manages to slice down your arm for 4 slashing damage. And the other slices you across the other arm with a very painful strike for 6 slashing damage.
Okay. I'm looking pretty bad.
Says the person whose idea it was to charge into this.
Listen, she's a doctor of archaeology. I never said that she was,
She's high intelligence, low wisdom.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
So why is Garo representing? Does Garo represent fall?
One is flower, and then if they choose to bring fall into the fight, then the ghetto token will be used to represent them.
That's what I asked. Is Garo fall?
Speaking of main bandits, since they are out of range to charge outright, are going to fire their crossbows.
His claws talk.
Claw AC? Or actually, wait, I haven't noted.
I haven't heard. I hear no claw at all.
Claw, you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that. So you were talking about.
They said they might have to step away every so often, so.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
That's I heard Matt talking. He talked to you, but I didn't hear you.
Alright. Flower and fall as the bandits all level their crossbows. They basically form a somewhat impromptu firing line to start laying down an array of bolt fire. You two, being such small targets, manage to stay out of the way. Paul also managing to avoid the brunt of it, forming an almost like impromptu shield wall as bolts strikes true. You get pierced in the shoulder and take 3 piercing damage.
Oh, you're going that direction, Austin.
Hit complete.
Real bad.
Oh, you're going that direction.
You think I'm going?
Well, I thought you were gonna go bitch.
No. Just take me.
Also, the thought occurs to me, since Jeremy's not here, I will roll for Greylock, but I've already rolled initiative for him, and it's a bit lower, but I'll be taking over for him when his turn comes around. That being said, that is the end of the bandits' turn. They do not have anything else they can do. So, as they start charging in, laying into you guys, Asari, you become acutely aware of just how outnumbered you are, even if they do not have you individually outmatched. But it is your turn. Paul on deck. Asari, what would you like to do?
Sorry. Okay. I'm going to. Alright, so there's 4 bandits in front of me. Asari is going to look at Paul and kind of give a toothy grin, and then look to the bandit. Maybe you shouldn't tread too close. And then she's going to take a deep breath, and she's going to use her breath weapon.
Okay. What's the range?
It's
15-foot cone.
I think it's a cone, right? Like if the breath was usually a cone, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so with a 15-foot cone, yeah, you'd be able to hit 3 of them.
3 of them.
Alright,
You need to make a DC.
What are they doing it like this?
alright.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
basically you do it as like 15 foot forward and then 15 foot across, and then anything that's within that cone gets hit. Alright, what's the DC? Sorry, your mic's bad. DC again?
Oh, sorry. 10.
Alright. DC 10 con save.
And the interesting thing about a cone is, it actually gets worse at close range the longer the range of the cone is. Because if you look at 20 feet, they'd only be able to hit, or like 25 feet, they'd start to only be able to hit 2 of them. So it's like a
Ooh.
All 3 succeed.
Alright, they take half damage, so I rolled 11.
Alright, so,
Which is 11 plus.
alright, that's 11 with the half.
No.
So that'll be, I'll have that into 5. Alright. Alright. Noted. Alright. Asari, you belt out this freezing cold breath, tuning into your draconic heritage. And the bandits all put their arms up instinctively as some of them make up, and sweat freezes to their face. And while you can see visible shaking and shivering, and their clothes wet from the fog and soaked and dirty, are now much stiff, and like you can actually hear some very slight cracking as they shake themselves off. They're still standing, but definitely look very bad off. Is that the end of your turn? Alright, Paul, you're up. I've been on deck, but Bryce will be going before you.
So, not on deck.
Okay. So let's do some setup here. How long does this last? Okay, so not the same one. Hoping this doesn't take longer than a minute. So I will then I'm gonna do two things. I would like to channel divinity. Sacred weapon. And actually, for 1 minute, my weapon is imbued with magic. Gets a +2 to attack rolls, and it emits a 20-foot bright light, 20-foot dim light radius of light. And yeah, but that'll be my action. And seeing as everything is a bit of a not doing well.
He's actually doing alright. He's on 22, 28.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, well, I will cast my last spell, Sanctuary, on Izari.
Okay, so I believe Sanctuary means they have to make a saving throw to target her?
Basically, yeah, unless they make it, the only thing that they can do is make an AoE attack, but if they make an attack specifically on her, they must make a wisdom saving throw, and if they fail, they must attack something else.
Okay. Alright, noted. Alright, so, Paul, as you channel divinity into your blade, you cast a spell, and the bandit's focus on Asari seems to fade slightly as its attention is being diverted away from her.
So now, not only is Asari less attackable, I am now a beacon. A bright light.
Indeed. Is that the end of your turn, Paul?
If I move, I'll get the opportunity attack, so I guess I shouldn't do that, so... Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay. Ivan, you're about to be up, but this turn comes up real quick. Bryce, kind of grimacing in irritation. At the so his pistol. That's all he does for the moment, but yeah, so he steps forward to join the firing squad of bandits that's forming, and begins to reload the pistol, and bring it to bear. Evan, you're up, fall on deck.
Okay. Is there like an elevated position that he can sneak up into?
If you're talking, you're muted, or your mic's being a dingus.
Is there an elevated position?
There is the second floor railing on the sides. So you'd have to enter into the room, but it looks like you probably could make that climb.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh no, he moved. Big me needs to move as well.
And I'm messing with audio. Y'all are quiet on the stream.
It's all good.
Move as well.
And I'm messing with audio. Y'all are quiet on the stream.
It's all good.
Move as well. Yeah. Is that a con save or a concentration spell? I don't think it is.
Sanctuary, I don't believe so.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
doesn't say, so...
Yeah, if it doesn't specify, then yeah, it's not
Yeah,
concentration.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I was like, sure, but I was like, so you have 1
Yeah, it
minute
does
of you're
specify,
unlikely
yeah.
to get attacked.
Okay, I think it's
Although
now.
I think. All right, there we go. Yeah, I guess just squad, just keep us posted if it's if it needs any further adjustment.
So can he get up there pretty quietly?
You can certainly try. Their attention certainly seems locked on your allies for the time being. I'll say if you so to get up there and to get up there stealthily, first make me a stealth check.
Okay.
Yeah, like I am drawing all the attention with my bright lights.
Yeah.
Look at me.
It is a pretty decent stealth. That's gonna be a 17.
All right. 17 to stealth.
Can he get there
and
in
now,
one turn and still be able to attack is the other question.
from your current position, yeah. Although, if you want to get up there, like basically, so you seem like you'll be able to do it quietly. Make me an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. Because from your position, there's not immediately obvious stairs, so you'll have to essentially kind of parkour a little bit, but it looks like you can make it.
Alright, his acrobatics is better than his athletics, so... That's gotta be a 15.
Alright. Ivaben, you start slipping out as your allies draw the attention to themselves. And climbing up, you bounce off of the wall, grab onto the underside of the railing and pull yourself up, and as you bring your bow to bear, it appears that you have gone unnoticed. Their attention drawn to the magical beacon that Paul has put on himself. So you still, that was just your movement, you still have your action. What would you like to do?
I think you can see what I'm going to do.
Shooting the big boy, the big knee.
Alright, make an attack roll.
Basically, he's gonna wager that if he kills him, his allies are gonna fall out. Alright, I get +7 to hit. That's a natural 20.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
And I get to roll it twice. Also, is he
Twice.
is he hurt at all?
No, he does not look hurt. Nobody's
Okay.
attacked him yet.
Well, I mean, he could have been hurt in a previous thing.
Well, yeah, so that's why I said he doesn't look hurt first, but then just noted offhandedly that, like, nobody's attacked him in this. But, yeah, no, he looks pretty much immaculate. He doesn't strike you as somebody who does the dirty work himself.
Alright, so I roll the dice twice, right?
I mean, you can if you want, but how I normally roll is you roll, you double whatever you roll. So, like, if you roll a d6, roll a 6, that becomes 12, and then you add your modifier.
Okay, that's gonna be 15 damage.
Alright, nice. Alright, 15 damage, and that's with a crit. That puts him down to that.
And then
Alright.
my next attack on him is gonna get an additional d8.
Alright, go for it.
Well, I don't have another attack.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
I
Okay.
said my next attack, because
No, sorry,
Colossus Slayer.
Right, yeah, so sorry, again, Karo's a slightly higher level ranger, so I'm used to rangers with multi-attack now. Alright.
Once I can multi-attack with Colossus Slayer, that's gonna be pretty good.
No, Colossus Slayer Ranger's very good. It's one of the better ranger subclasses. Anyway. So, Ivaben, you parkour your way up to the second floor, which thankfully appears completely unoccupied. The bottom floor commons area more frequented. And as you bring your bow to bear, you see Bryce stepping forward, having just freshly loaded and brought his pistol to bear. And as he steps forward to join the firing line, you almost smile to yourself as he steps into position and loose an arrow. And I'll tell you what, Hunter, if you have one available, you don't have to. Flip me a coin.
Hang on, let me turn on a light.
It's like a D&D coin.
Ah, here we go.
I literally have a coin that says yes and no. I can go grab it.
No, I think he's got one.
Tails.
Alright. seeing his pistol being brought to bear, you fire, and as he's aiming the pistol and closing one eye to focus his aim, your arrow strikes through his hand, and the pistol goes sailing out of his grip and skidding across the floor. You have not only damaged him, you have disarmed him, and he's definitely not going to have use of that hand until it heals. And he lets out a furious and frustrated scream of pain and anger as he searches for whoever fired that shot, but does not seem like he sees you as you crouch, almost unnaturally blending into the darkness above him.
He's just got this dark figure just hunting him.
Yeah, you're just Batman. Yeah, you're just like a nightmarish combo of Batman and fucking Green Arrow. Alright. Is that the end of your turn, Ivan?
Yeah, that's everything I can do.
Alright, Flower and Fall, you're up. Sorry on deck after the bandits go.
Okay. Oops. There we go.
Gotta imagine. Okay, so Matthew, if I roll a nat 20, would I double Colossus Slayer as well, or just the attack and then do Colossus Slayer?
I believe you would double Colossus Slayer. If I recall, Austin, correct me if this... What's up?
Yeah, if it's part of the attack, like, the one thing that makes Paladins so crazy strong is one thing, is, like, Divine Smite. I could be like...
same with Rogue's sneak attack.
Yeah, well, like, I could be like, if I rolled a natural 20, I'd be like, you know what, I'm a Divine Smite, so it's doubled. My Divine Smite's also doubled.
So yeah, basically, as long as it is explicitly part of the attack, that extra damage, then yes, Colossus Slayer would also be doubled. Alright, so Flower and Fall, what would you like to do?
Okay, I'm checking where they all are.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pretty much see
far.
that light. Like, just shining a bright light in their face.
I guess I'll shoot at him for now.
Alright, you will have disadvantage at this range.
That's okay. I'll still try.
Alright, go for it. So make a attack with your guns at disadvantage.
It was meant to be. I rolled 6 twice. What is this?
With your modifier, that becomes a... which one are you using? The gun sword or the gun axe?
Flower wields the gun axe.
Yes, okay, so with the gun axe that becomes a 9, but that still does not make the cut. You bring your gun axe to bear and fire, but the tiny bullet whizzes past the bandit's head, although they do seem very startled. Right, anything else you would like to do on your turn?
So how does the summoning work?
As a bonus action, you will basically bring Fall into the fight. You can, and if you do that, you can make an additional attack with Fall, a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, which in your case is twice. So basically you can summon Fall with a bonus action, and because you already attacked, make an additional attack with her, but you can only do that twice.
I think you can only do it like you have to do it on an attack action.
Which she already took one, so
I know that, but I'm just like, but then
for future note,
one. Yeah. You can only do one at a time, if I'm not mistaken, per attack action. So if you want to, you can do like attack, and then say, you know what, action search. I'm gonna attack 2 or 3 more times, you know?
Yeah, because you're a fighter now, you have action surge, which basically, this isn't a bonus action, you can literally just say you want to do action surge, and that gives you an additional action.
Yep, you only get 1 per long rest, so...
Basically, as Austin is saying, you just had flower attack. You can then have fall attack with your bonus action, and then take action surge to attack again with flower.
Okay. Well, I will summon fall, but should not be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's your bonus action to summon them. So, although you have already taken the attack action, so I will allow you to make an attack with her if you won't mind. Also, where do you want to?
Sorry, I thought you were about to be done.
No worries. Well, real quick, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask, so in D&D, there's a difference between a turn and a round, right?
Yeah, turn is basically just like your individual.
Phase?
Yeah, and then round is basically once everyone has gone.
So something is once per turn. That means that you can use it multiple times around, but only once during a specific turn.
Yes.
So, like, if I use Colossus Slayer, which is once per turn, I can use it on my turn once. And then, after that, I could also use it on a reaction because that's separate from the turn.
Yes. That Colossus Slayer is very good if you combine it with Sentinel, because, you take advantage of it on reactions. As long as it is not on your turn, you're good. Flower, you can summon fall anywhere.
Does it get stronger over time? Like, does it get more dice eventually?
I think so. I believe so. It should.
I know Sneak Attack does.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. But I guess, Austin, if you feel like it, you can check. Flower, you can summon fall anywhere within 15 feet of you.
Sorry about interrupting like that.
Okay.
You're all good.
So I'm still on Paul's shoulder, yes?
Yes, I'm just putting you above them, because otherwise the icons would get weird.
Yeah.
What
Echo Knight.
Not her, Hunters.
Oh, the Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, so where would you like to summon fall? And bear in mind, this won't provoke attack of opportunity, so you can summon fall anywhere within 15 feet of you.
I'll summon her on, oh geez, I forget, Amanda's new character.
Sorry?
I'll summon her on her shoulder.
Alright.
Because they can't be on both.
Okay. Flower, as you make your attack and miss, fall darts off of Paul's shoulder and swirls around like Tinkerbell to perch on Asari's shoulder, and if you wish, you can have Fall use one of her 2 attacks.
Okay. I will also have Fall shoot, even though it's at disadvantage.
Alright, make an attack roll at disadvantage.
Okay. Don't give me another 6. You give me something worse. I can't believe this. Well, I got a 4.
Okay. Same as before, you bring the gun to bear and fire, but it whizzes over their head. They're moving around too much for you to get a clean shot.
Your dice are being very mean.
Yeah,
they're being stinky.
Anything else on your turn, Flowerfall?
No. I'll be fine for now.
Alright, I will go ahead and take over for Greylog.
Did he roll a 1?
In total, initiative was a, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was worse than Flower and Falls.
Well, then he rolled a 4 is what he's saying.
Yeah.
But it's worse.
Well, it had to be worse than the Avens, which was a 4.
Alright, I think Greylog is going to use Scorching Ray. Let's go ahead and cast that. And I'll say he splits the fireballs between targets.
I thought it was Scorching Ray.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those weird D&D things where the spell's name is similar to how, I forget, what's that, cantrip that, like, sounds like it would be fiery, but it's actually holy?
Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sacred Flame. Like, Sacred Flame, for instance, isn't fire, it's just a beacon of light. It's the, Scorching Ray is actually just you create 3 small fireballs that target people.
Oh, we have some, like, crowd control abilities.
Yeah.
Vapen's more better at single target damage.
Yeah.
I'm not better at drawing in, though. I'm protecting people and drawing in. Yeah, good team comp here.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 forms of crowd control, then we got a tank, and then we got someone who can take out one big target.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is all by complete chance, because it's not like we coordinated our characters or anything.
Yeah, typically the only thing we do is like, hey, I'm playing this class, so like I recommend not playing the same.
I mean,
Not
like,
two wizards fight it out.
I could see like parties that are all one class working.
Well, yeah, just
Yeah, it's just a matter of preference at that point.
Nothing
It
but
depends on the
paladins.
thing. If we're
Yeah,
all wizards,
all
it's just
paladins.
Like we're all wizards. It's like, oh look, a fireball. Well, we're all dead.
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on your preference. Anyway, Greylog casts Scorching Ray, and as 3 fireballs fly out from the hallway, the bandits kind of fly into a bit of a panic and start flailing to dodge them. And while 2 of them manage to successfully, one of the ones attacking you, Asari, gets hit full on. And while their face is badly scorched, they are still standing, but barely, and looks like they're panicking.
Do your enemies have morale in D&D?
Could I just burn my head?
It's up to the DM.
Yeah, it's up to the DM at that point. And yes?
I'll turn my head to Greylog. Thank you.
He gives you a nod, and turns his attention, because that's the end of his turn,
Imagine if you
turns his
applied
attention...
Warhammer to D&D and had them roll to see if they retreat.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I actually do that, just if it's appropriate for the enemy to do so, because basically someone who's like hyper devoted and thinks they're doing the right thing probably isn't going to retreat. But for instance, a cowardly group of crooks who were just looking to make a quick buck and did not sign up to fight to the seeming death, may not be so inclined.
What about a group of goblins?
Again, depends.
Yeah, like some goblins are just like, you know what? I want to fucking kill you. I don't care if you just killed my, my brethren. Fuck you.
Tell that to the Gretchen.
Yeah, like fuck you.
Speaking of, the 2 confronting you, Asari, who have been frozen, and then one had their frozen face burned, and are and can hear their bosses scream of pain and frustration, seem to feel like the tide is turning, and the 2 in front of you are going to take the disengage action and start retreating.
So they are removed from the battle, right?
They're disengaged, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them actually turning and running, but if they make it to the exit, then I'll remove them. Just in case anyone wants to just be a dick and kill them for the fuck of it.
Well, now you have
Or
to
knock them out.
But I'll turn them around.
At least this time it's only like you only have to do it like 1 or 2 at a time. This time instead of all of them at once.
The remaining 2 seem a little more and are going to take swings at Paul.
Alright.
Your AC, what was your AC again, sorry?
19.
Alright, miss. Miss. You continue your intense duel with the 2 that remain, fighting 2 opponents at once and surprisingly winning. Just taking your time to set up spells and protect your allies while they fruitlessly attempt to even so much as scratch you.
And I was like, guys, are you okay? I'm just like, I'm looking at my party back, and you can see behind me, just like me move my shield, like, you guys okay? Ding, 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 ding. Oh.
Yeah, just parrying and blocking. Good lord. Good lord!
Hey, DM has doo-doo dice.
Well...
Or maybe not, just maybe natural 20.
Wait, are those reactions for bad rolls or good rolls?
Well, let's find out.
It could be both.
Paul,
Yeah.
the firing line continues its onslaught. Two of them fire at you, but you manage to dodge and duck out of the way, careful to not expose Flower to the line of fire. Although, as that thought runs through your mind, you see one level their crossbow at Flower, but as they pull the trigger, the crossbow string, seeming somewhat poorly maintained, just completely snaps.
Do dice. Do dice.
However, Flower, just as you're processing that confidence, through Fall's eyes, you can see another leveling their crossbow and firing. And Fall technically has 1 hit point, and as a critical crossbow shot impacts the tiny pixie on Asari's shoulder, Fall goes sailing backwards and falls to the ground. The crossbow bolt thankfully not piercing, but simply just doing them, like almost swatting them off of Asari's shoulder. And Fall is removed from the battle.
Wow, how dare they?
How like, hey, get up. And you're like, alright, cool. Bonus action, just like, get up. And you're like, alright.
Yeah, for your benefit, Qua, I believe, I believe you can just keep summoning more as a bonus action, so...
Yeah, there's no limit to how many times you
get
cast
up.
it. Yeah, they can literally just take like, a bunch of like hits and like, hey, get up. Like, alright.
As a bonus action.
I know that there's a reason that Echo Knight's considered kind of overpowered, depending on who you ask. And the remaining 2 bandits of this like firing line, the remaining 2. What's the DC for Asari Sanctuary?
It is Wisdom save 13.
That was a spinny dice.
Oh, sounds like if one of them hits, she's down.
Do dice.
Yeah, dude, fucking doo-doo dice.
I thought about making chocolate dice. Did not go well.
That sounds... Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
You're gonna eat them.
Absolutely, I wouldn't keep them forever, no.
Oh, fair enough. In that case, that's actually a pretty good idea. I'd be into that. Anyway,
Didn't try as well as I hoped.
One...
Didn't you say you needed to, like, temper the chocolate or something like that?
Yeah, I tried. I was like, I'm doing something. Is this
I feel like you need to make big ones.
I did make, like, I made, like...
One of them fails the save, and as they turn their crossbow to you, Paul, pull the trigger, and again, poorly maintained equipment, the string of the crossbow just completely snaps.
Another nat 1?
That's my 3rd nat 1 of the night.
Do dice.
However, that was also my 3rd nat 20, so... it's just a flip-floppy kind of day. However, the remaining one does manage to land a hit through the Sanctuary. Does Sanctuary have any additional effect if they succeed the saving throw, or is it just they can attack as normal?
I think it's just they attack normally now, but let's see.
Yeah, just double check in case there's anything relevant.
It's the flare! Oh, gonna die!
I'm sorry, wasn't Asari the one who walked forward with the paladin?
Yeah, the paladin's meant to tank. You're a sorcerer.
I never said that she was with.
God,
Yeah,
Matthew, with how good our track record had been on D5, and now, like, 2 sessions in, someone's character already dies.
They're not gonna die. There's a paladin right next to her.
I mean, I may be out of spells, but I mean, you know,
He's out of spells!
I have lay on hands.
Yeah, he has lay on hands.
I was gonna use the remaining of my lay on hands.
Alright, so yeah, no additional effects, Paul?
Nope. It's just that if the person I ward attack or do anything like to affect another creature, it ends.
Okay. One manages to force themselves to focus on Asari, and their crossbow, a little bit better maintained than the others, fires. And,
Wait, didn't you mention another nat 20?
Okay. Well, it could have been from the wisdom save.
God, I hope not.
So you won't die, I don't think. I mean, but, you know.
Hey Matthew, is that whole, like, isn't it like double, is it double their current health or double their max health?
Max health. It's not their current. It's basically, it goes over to the, like, basically she has 3, and then whatever her max health, they have to do all that as well.
Okay.
I had something cool planned too. I'm so mad.
Well, I got you.
Matthew, did you die?
Maybe he's calculating, I don't know.
I think we lost our DM. Oh no.
You
Rip
probably just got
Matthew.
distracted by something.
But yeah, so I doubt she'll die.
It's not really
So
like.
apparently a Vaven would have to take 56 health below his 0 to die.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So if he hit 0 and took 56 damage after that, he's just dead.
56 health.
No, he has 28 health, double
I
his
only have
56.
21.
Like,
28
like-
health. Austin, 28 health
Well, it
double
sounded
is
like-
56.
I know. It sounded like you were talking about like if you
No,
were.
I said 56 health after hitting 0.
After hitting 0, that wouldn't be. Yeah, it's not double your remaining health. It's whatever your max health is. So it'd be.
That's what I said. After he hits 0, if he takes an additional 56 damage, he dies.
Not
instantly.
56 though. What I'm saying.
And is it not twice the health?
No.
No, it's
It's health if you're
it's
at
your
full,
health and then.
If you're at full health.
That's-
Mhm.
So wait, if you take, it's twice. Wait, so is it? So it is remaining health.
Well, it's 0. No, it's 0. And when you hit 0, it's you have to hit your maximum HP. So if you have, I think what you said, 26, right? So when
Oh,
you hit
okay,
0,
okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. It'd be 56 health from. So if he takes 56 health from max damage, he's just dead.
Yeah, that's just.
If
you
he
know,
takes
just-
56 damage at all, he's just dead because it would have been enough either way.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounds like his internet. No.
We will return shortly.
So
Yeah,
about
we will
those
return
chocolate
to our
guys.
regular program in just a minute.
There's a reason a lot of people use modeling chocolate for stuff. It doesn't taste really good, but
Hey, I mean.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Matthew.
Alright. That went down. I switched to my phone for a minute.
Poor
Okay.
Matthew.
Why did your internet go down?
It just does that sometimes.
Why?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, mine does that.
Yeah, it just happens. Alright,
I mean,
uh,
internet does that.
yeah, it's all good. I'll switch back over to headset once it reconnects, but I don't want to just leave you guys in the dark. Alright, so Asari, you should have 2 health remaining.
Oh, he only did 1 HP? Or 1 damage?
Yes.
So after that attack, you're assuming your D&D Beyond is updated. After that attack, you're down to 2 health.
Okay.
Oh. So it was a weak shot.
Yeah, it did 3 damage, and she had 5 health. So,
Oh. Push it less, but
Suffering.
Okay.
But that is the end of the bandit's turn. So,
Yay!
sound like Sanctuary at least did some stuff, you know. It's
yeah, it kept. I know because both were going to try and hit you. One was supposed not to. So,
even though that one did natural one afterwards.
yeah. Sorry, you're up. Paul on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna do my cool thing now. So excited. So, Paul,
Yes.
since you are literally right next to her,
Yes.
after she's hit, you see her close her eyes. You think maybe she's like losing consciousness, but she's focusing. You hear a strange whispering noise as her body starts to glow. These markings all over her start to glow and whisper to her. They don't really make any sense. And she extends a hand, and from her hand comes a skeletal, urethral, hand, and it wraps around the throat of Blake Thorne
What?
as she casts Chill Touch.
Oh. Well,
So I'm gonna roll for that.
it wraps around him if it works.
Oh, that's cocked.
Hmm.
That's also cocked. Jesus! I gotta remove this. Hang on. There we go. Oh my god. Natural 20.
Alright, roll the damage.
So,
Yeah. So if he has any regenerative ability.
ooh. So, that is 10 damage. Necrotic.
Yeah. And he can no longer. Well, he can't regenerate HP.
Yep.
I remember. I think I.
And it's just gonna tighten around his throat. And she is going to say, call off your dogs, and we might let you live.
Mm.
What's his health at now, Matthew?
Sorry. Should be back now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yes.
sorry about that. Yeah. So sorry about that. Sorry. I'm good now. All right. The chill touch hand tightens around his throat, and what did Asari say?
She says, call off your dogs, and I might let you live.
All right.
And he took 10 damage. How's he looking?
He
Yeah,
still
he took
looks.
10 necrotic damage.
Yeah.
He looks like he can keep going. He doesn't look good, but he does. He does look like he can keep going for a bit. Is that the end of your turn, Asari?
Yeah.
All right. Paul, you're up. I've been on deck after Bryce goes.
Yeah. I prefer not to attack these guys, but you know.
Yeah, remember, you can always just specify non-lethal.
Well, yeah, I mean it's always gonna be non-lethal, but I guess I will talk to the guys in front of me as I will It would be in their best interest to step aside.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. Persuasion, you know, 12.
They seem like they're considering it, but as they turn their attention towards Bryce, who glares at you, Asari, through his choking gas and starts shakily turning his pistol to you, they turn their attention back to you, Paul, and it seems for the moment they're still more afraid of him than they are of you, although they do seem befuddled at their complete inability to hit you.
Well, also, I'd point out Sanctuary's gone, so...
Yeah. They still have numbers and fear of their boss, although they do seem to legitimately consider.
How long does it?
Well,
You lost.
Sorry.
You didn't.
Yeah, you attacked Bryce, so you lost it anyway.
Yeah.
So how long it lasts is basically irrelevant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
However, Paul, that does not consume your action. Again, they seem like they're willing to listen, they're just too scared of Bryce to outright stop.
Take care of Bryce. Take care of them, but if I leave, well... See how far away he is. Okay, he's 30 feet. This will go a lot smoother with him down, so... Dang.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to think.
He's
I want to
considering just...
going after him specifically, but I add a character. I know you're in the shadows doing some work on him, but so that you can keep doing that while I protect the party. But
Well, did they see him get hit by an arrow?
Yeah.
So that might be your tip off that, because like, who else do you know is using a bow right now?
I mean, they're using crossbows. I think, right?
That's not
Yeah,
a bow.
just they accidentally friendly fired him.
A crossbow bolt is very different from an arrow.
To be fair, Paul's not a soldier, though.
Yeah, they're not really.
Pretty
I'm not
obvious.
It's just a sticker, mostly, right? Thickness. Anyway.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, I will stop and proceed to knock out, or try to knock out the one in front of me.
Okay.
Alright. I gave them a chance.
Yeah, roll to hit.
Again.
I was not expecting it to be this
Oh,
hard to
Zephyr.
find a picture of an arrow and a crossbow bolt next to each other. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they're exactly the same. No. No. Alright, I'm gonna attack.
Throwing a crossbow bolt
Okay,
is a
not
lot
bad.
shorter than
14.
an arrow.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Okay. Anyway, so that's with my +3. Well, that. So +3 would be 8.
Alright. With a pummel like, basically, as you had been more or less passively sitting there and doing little more than blocking and dodging, you look at the ones who, to their credit, seem nervous,
Yeah,
but
also
giving a sigh. No, I know. Giving a sigh, you raise your blade and pummel the bandit in front of you in the head, and he instantly, like a sack of hammers, unconscious. He was already injured from Asari's frost breath, so...
And sacred sword or weapon help.
The what, sorry?
A sacred weapon added a +3 to my attack, so...
Oh, yeah.
So did he
Alright, anything else on your turn, Paul? Yeah, he knocked one of the bandits out.
Okay, he didn't go for the guy.
Yeah.
I didn't have to because I didn't try to keep our party alive.
Yeah, Paul's got a tank, so.
Yeah, tank and heal.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Alright. Anything else on your turn, Paul?
I'm looking to see if I can do anything. I don't think I can. Yeah. Can't do much else, so I will stay here, staying next to the party.
Okay. Sorry. As Sanctuary fades, and you, at the aggression of you attempting to, or rather casting your spell to strangulate Bryce Thorne, he glares at you as he reaches for the pistol that Iva Bennett shot out of his hand, but cannot reach it from his current position. And reaching into his pocket, he pulls free a dagger. And
I'll get at him.
Is he gonna throw it?
looks like it.
Within range.
It's like 1d4 damage, but that still might be enough.
Oh yeah, like she has.
Well, he needs to hit, and he has disadvantage because he's out of the ideal dagger range.
Yeah. Let's see, boobs. Get a little closer to us. Come on.
I'm more having him not moving because like he's being strangled, so I feel like moving isn't really on his priority list right now. Bryce chucks a dagger at Asari that sails overhead, reaches into his other pocket, pulls another, and chucks it, but that one sails slightly off, and as he falls to his knees, struggling to breathe, he glares at the bandits running past him to flee, at the slowly breaking morale of his troops, and glares at you, Asari, and gives a smile, and kill me here, and you'll never find the treasure.
Sorry, can I insight check that?
Make an insight check.
Then I'm gonna say something based on what he said. Okay, not good. 14.
He seems like he actually means it. Whether he's referring to the same treasure you're looking for, you don't know, but he does, whatever he's referring to, he seems to mean it.
Okay. I'm gonna step a little closer. Just a little. Like
Is
5
it their
feet.
turn?
So I'm not gonna...
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's not your turn, sorry, so you can't move. You can talk, but you can't move.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll say for flavor you can step forward, though.
Yeah. I will say... Who's to say that we don't already know what it is?
He gives a smirk, as his throat begins to go blue from the freezing touch of your spell. If you know where it is, then you know what's guarding it.
There wasn't anything guarding.
I'm the only one who knows how to get past it.
I'll look to Paul. So spare him.
Well, I had no intention of killing him.
Pull off your dogs, and we can have a civil chat.
He raises an eyebrow and gestures to the skeletal hand clutching at his throat.
I'll wave a hand and have it release.
Alright. I will say, assuming he does as Asari asks,
will the rest of you no longer be taking hostile action? Just so I know if we're being taken out of initiative or not.
If he stops the fight, then for now Vaven will not attack. But if he doesn't,
all right. Flower and Fall, same for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matthew, don't change the music before you say it because it gives it away.
I can't
Wait till
hear
you
the music.
reveal it, and then change the music.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, that music awesome.
He makes me have it on for the stream.
Yeah, but I don't hear it. I'm on Roll20 and I don't hear it.
Should be on.
Might have to go to your settings and just toggle, mess with the audio. Cause it happens to me where it won't do it unless I mess with the level.
God damn it, Matthew.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I guess. As he slowly stands to his feet, clutching at his throat, he glares a bit before turning to the squabbling banditry behind him and gives a whistle between his teeth. And that manages to get the bulk of them to stop, and those that continue are quickly realize the de-escalation and stop. Bryce kind of shakes his head and, looking over the banditry, gives a slow nod. All right. Since you lot obviously can't be trusted, I think I will be taking my services elsewhere. He dusts off his jacket and kind of shaking his head a bit. I'm going to take my cut of our earnings, split it with these nice treasure hunters, and you all are on your own. He approaches his pistol and, pushing the hammer down to avoid a misfire, pockets it. See how far all of you get without me leading you?
I'm sure they can manage.
Let's hope so.
Does he still have the arrow in his hand?
He still has the arrow in his hand, but as he pockets the pistol, he kind of, with his other hand, kind of grimaces, and first I need to get the wife to take a look at this. He looks to all of you, and if you can stand to wait till I get this treated, I'm nothing if not a man of my word. I know how to get past the beast at the top.
I don't think we have time.
Can assist you. I am a doctor after all.
I guess with the fight over, a Vapen will jump down.
He kind of glances to you as you jump down and scowls and looks to you, Asari, with a smarmy grin. And with all due respect, Doctor, you've already broken do no harm a few times over, so I think I'd rather have my wife take a look. Won't take her long. She's a real peach.
She kind of smiles. I did not say what kind of doctor.
He kind of raises an eyebrow and
nods to the banditry. Meant what I said. You're all on your own. But you're free to do as you like. I have no intention of staying around this pothole. And he approaches all of you, and there's a tense moment of him just staring all of you down before rolling his eyes and elbowing between Paul and Asari, and I'll be back. The rest of you idiots don't cause any trouble.
Also, if I was going to say, I'm going to need that arrow back.
He kind of stops and stares at you for a moment and looks to the arrow in his hand in consideration and
Oh, you can take it out wherever. I'm just going to need it back when you're done.
I can buy you another one.
No, it's fine. And he stares at you, Ivan, and making full eye contact, grips the arrow by the shaft and tears it out of his palm as blood splatters onto the stone below his feet, and he tosses it dismissively to roll with it at your boots, and sticking the bleeding hand into his other pocket, gives a smirk and I'll be back.
How long should we wait for it?
Now he's back up to 20 arrows again.
Just give me 15, 20 to get this wrapped, and I'll be right behind you. Of course, feel free to go ahead and leave if you're more willing to take your chances up there.
I'm being told that
You've piqued my curiosity yet.
I don't know if we have time for this, though.
He gives a bit of a shrug and your funeral. And unless anyone has anything else for him, disappears down the hall.
When he leaves, everyone's going to say, this arrow is worth more than trash like him.
Now, he said that he was going to split the goods with us. Is that correct?
Yeah, he said basically because the bandits have disappointed him, and in the interest of saving his own skin, he seems intent on showing you guys how to get past whatever's guarding the temple. From the sounds of it, he's been storing what the bandits have stolen up there, and is willing to split it with you guys instead of with the bandits if you have him accompany you up there.
Okay. As soon as I think that he is gone, I will turn to the bandits. Are you all bandits, or are you all families in need?
Depends on your definition.
Well,
One of the ones...
the boy.
Hugh and his father, who appear to have been hiding out in one of the cells waiting for the situation to de-escalate, step out, and one of the ones that had been attacking Paul, a bandit with a long, thick, dark beard, a mess of equally dark hair, kept back in a red bandana, pipes up. I can't speak for all of us, but most of us used to be miners, lumberjacks, fishermen, but once the laws changed, we didn't have a lot of options.
I'm going to look at the others. Are we planning to return to this town after we're done on the mountain?
I mean, I guess we could return here. I mean, we gotta get somewhere. I don't know how we're gonna get back to where we need to go.
I can't speak for everyone here,
The
but
reason I ask is I would like... Go ahead.
Eldar, Hugh's father, pipes up. I can at least speak for my team and I that we'll keep our word. Once, if you and the captain manage to secure the breastplate, I swear it that my team and I will clear out of the city and not hurt anyone ever again. You've given us more than enough to figure out what to do afterwards.
I would like to look around.
I'll help.
Well, I'm looking around because I would like to look for that one who mentioned about his brother.
He's easy enough to spot in the crowd. From the looks of it, he was one of the ones who turned on Bryce's crew, and you can see he's covered in bruises from the brawl that had ensued between him and those who had remained loyal. His efforts, along with the team you had helped, seeming to have kept some of the banditry off your back, as they were more busy with them.
I would like to approach that one.
He watches you as you approach, his face, through the bruising, stiff and uncomfortable, as he kind of rubs at his face, and squints at you. Not seeming more suspicious and more like, seems like he's probably nursing enough injuries to where he's genuinely having trouble focusing, but watches you as you approach through squinted eyes.
Can't do it to everyone, but he will. Can I do like a minimum? Is there a minimum amount to this action? I don't think there is. Yeah. So he will go up to him and. Like, how badly is he hurt? Just, like, is he, like, on the verge of death?
No. From the looks of it, the bandits, given that they've been working together for a while and know each other, those who had been fighting each other were not using their weapons, just fighting with their fists. So he looks injured, but at worst, it looks like he might lose consciousness, but from what you can tell at a glance, it seems like the worst he would have to worry about is a broken bone or a concussion, which, compared to what could have happened with those swords and crossbows flying around, is not the worst that could have happened.
Yeah. He will kind of lay his hand on his eyes and do lay on hand and heal him. He'll heal him. He'll heal him, I would say, let's say 3.
Alright. As you lay a hand on him and pump some healing into him, a few of his facial bruises fade and flatten, his skin brightening a little bit, and he, rubbing the part that had been sore, seems a little confused but grateful and gives you a nod. Thanks.
No problem. Though I couldn't help but overhear about your brother.
He gives a slow nod and, "Oi. Is he?"
Well, we were the ones who encountered that group, yes. And I will admit two out of the 4 of them did not make it, but based off, if I remember correctly, one of them that did make it looked, I guess, similar to you.
He gives a small smile and, you'd know him if you saw him. That's relief. Thank you for sparing him.
Well, in honesty, I would have spared all of them, but my new comrades were not very, I guess, weren't in a good mood that day.
He kind of shifts on his feet nervously, and gives a nervous nod of assent. He kind of bites his lip, and if you and the captain are leaving, and the captain's not planning on coming back, I'll make my way out once the weather's clear, and find my brother, and see about making our fortunes elsewhere.
Well, I believe your brother, well, last we left him, though I would have preferred a different way of doing it, but last we left him hanging at a tree, I think in a town out not too far from here.
He gives a nod, and okay. He gives a small smirk. If nothing else, it might help to sober him up.
Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. And he'll proceed to get up and walk back to the group.
Alright. What are the rest of you doing in the meanwhile, if anything?
Oh.
Paul, sorry. Addressed you.
What? Oh, I didn't hear that. Yes.
Are you able to heal anybody?
Well, technically yes, but with all the fights we've done and not very much rest, I'm not saying I can't really do very much right now. I'm running as unfumed as it is. But
Indeed. I am not doing so well.
well, I can't do much, but he'll lay his hands and, well, he'll use the last two of his lay on hands.
Alright, you gain 2 hit points.
Oh.
Sadly, that's all I got on me. I'm pretty much spent.
Alright. Flower and Fall, what are you doing?
Kind of sitting on Paul's shoulders again, looking upon all the people. Well, what are you guys gonna do now?
How about you?
Matthew, you talked right over them.
Well, no, they on my end, maybe it's my internet. On my end, they hadn't said anything yet. Basically, as I was talking, they
it was roughly the same time. So.
Yeah. There's a delay, so
It's okay. I don't know anyone.
Yeah, in my Friday group, I do a 6-second rule of if I count to 6 in my head and the person doesn't say anything, I assume they're not going to. Eldar gives a nod and speaks up. Most of us will be keeping our word to you and your friends. We'll wait for the weather to clear and then make ourselves scarce. Scrummy gives a nod, nursing a black eye and several bruises of his own from the hit he had taken from Bryce and the hit he had taken from the Loyalists. He kind of gives a bit of a shrug. Maybe make our way to the big city, see what opportunities wait for us there. And Ivan, what are you doing?
He's just starting to walk back to where the two on the elf are, to inform them that the situation is dealt with.
Okay. Alright. Easy enough to do. As you approach them, they're crouched down in the basement. They seem to have gathered what supplies they have left, and you can see the furnace is powered but being kept at a low temperature, presumably because turning it on would be a task in and of itself if it was to be turned completely off. And as you approach, gives you a nod. Everything well?
The situation is dealt with. You should be free to run your machine.
Alright. He nods to Lazaro and... Alright.
Wait, which one
Let's
is
get...
the human and which one is the elf again?
Lazaro is the elf. Solomon Mandel is the human.
Okay.
Harold Kosman is the human, but yes, Lazaro is the elf. So, my list was in the wrong order. As Lazaro gives Harold a nod, he starts shoveling and lighting the coal in the furnace, and we'll try and make it back to the others before the weather gets any worse. Might have just enough time if we run for it.
Well, hopefully you'll make it back.
And I suggest you run.
They're in the basement. You're not here.
Yeah, I was about to say, you are not
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Also,
He...
Oh, never mind, you continue.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as Harold lights the furnace and monitors it for a moment before closing it, turns to you as him and Lazaro gather their things, and what about you? You said you need the car operational, right?
Yes, I believe that is our current plan. We need that to get to the top of the mountain, I believe.
He gives a nod and turns to Lazaro and, well, what do you think, hun? Might be good to make a run by our house before we head back to the others anyway. Might not even have time to make it back down to them before... And Lazaro gives a nod. Aye. And he nods to you. If you're leaving now, we'll... He kind of does air quotes, walk you there. If the infected, and he does air quotes again, are dealt with, then it should be safe as long as we don't go too slow. We'll just need to make sure we get there before the weather turns too severely.
Alright, I think the others are just finishing up some things, and they're waiting on the... I guess the leader of this group, who's acting infected, knows something about a beast or something guarding the breastplate. So we're keeping him around for a little bit, but I assure you, he won't be in trouble.
Smart move.
And if he is trouble, well, he just twirls an arrow in his hand. He won't be trouble for long.
They both kind of smile a little bit, and that's what I like to hear. And Harold gives a nod. And if the weather's starting to turn by the time we're getting close, our house ain't too far off from the station. Y'all can rest at our place, wait for the weather to smooth out a little bit before you make the way up. But it's up to you.
Some rest could be good, but it may just depend.
Alright, well, I guess one step at a time. And as he says that, the fire in the generator begins to slowly build and become brighter and larger before finally there's this metallic rattling from the inside, and Ivabin, your eyes kind of instinctively dilate as a small light finally comes on above the three of your heads.
Raven will like rub his eyes a the sudden flat, because he's more sensitive to light.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get moving.
Alright, we'll head up to the others and see if they're ready to leave yet.
All right.
Was he about
Those
to
of
say
you...
something?
One more time?
Was he about to say something?
Oh, no, he was just saying, like, all right, let's head out, basically. As those of you upstairs wait, about 10 minutes pass before there's this small vibration and lights in the prison begin to turn back on. The bandits all kind of looking around, not shocked, as basically like with you guys more or less overtaking of their area. It wasn't completely unexpected, but they don't seem unhappy with it, more just kind of surprised. And I've been with the engineers returns at around the same time that Bryce does. Bryce's right hand now wrapped in bandages that already are soaked a little bit with the bleeding, but appear to have at least been putting pressure on it so he doesn't lose the hand entirely. And as Ivan and the engineers walk past him, he gives a somewhat dry smirk to the rest of you, and shall we? Alright.
Indeed, we shall.
You guys make your way towards the exit.
Everybody's like, nah, let's not go yet.
Hugh gives Asari a enthusiastic wave as you guys make your way towards the exit. The engineers give Bryce something of a wide...
As I pass by him, I want to give him a high five.
Sure. You high-five the boy, who enthusiastically hops up and down, seeming pretty happy with it overall. The engineers give Bryce something of a wide berth, and he gives really the bulk of you something of a wide berth. Not straying off so far that you would think he's about to run, but straying off enough to where he has his personal space. And you guys make your way back to the entrance where you would come in. And as you thrust the doors open, you see the stretch of dark, ashen-fogged city before you. And as you approach the gates, the engineers wave to you and gesture for you to follow them, going past the prison up north now, rather than basically just continuing to go the direction you had been going, but you had come from the south before. And this way. And he nods to Ivan. We already offered him rest at our place if the weather turns before we can get y'all to the tram station. That goes for all of y'all as well. You saved our lives, or at the very least, our dignity.
How long is the ride up the mountain?
Real quick, what were you going to say, Ivan?
I was going to say, they did seem to imply that even if this calm fades, another calm may soon arise.
Yeah, it cycles a little bit. It's a little unpredictable, but it happens. And in response to you, Asari, he gives a bit of a shrug and, don't take too long. It's a little slow. Let people take in a nice view, but I reckon maybe 45 minutes, although we might take it slow in case the weather turns on you. So anywhere from 45 to an hour.
I'll look to the others. I am quite injured. Do you think that we would have time to rest before we go up the mountain?
Yeah, y'all can stay at our place if you need a place to rest. Collect yourselves, lick your wounds.
We'll have plenty of time for... If we do that, we would have plenty of time to rest while we wait for another calm.
You are really, quiet.
Okay.
Better.
Okay, so nobody heard what he said.
Yeah, it was just kind of quiet, so it was hard to hear.
No.
Okay, so I need to repeat it?
Mhm.
Okay. He said...
Yes, please.
He said we would have plenty of time to rest if we choose to do so while we wait for another calm to come over.
Yeah, and if we wait for the next calm, then that gives you more than enough time to get up the mountain without the weather turning on you halfway up.
I think it would be beneficial to...
It may be the better option.
He gives a nod and... Alright, let's start heading up that way then. Don't worry, we got plenty of room for you guys. As long as you're alright sleeping in the guest area. The two of them nod, and with the three of them in tow, the two engineers and the bandit captain, who has seeming knowledge of the beast on the mountain, whatever that beast may be, you start making your way northward. The core populated center of Laconice begins to give way to more naturalistic views. This part of the city is a little more elevated, and as all of you kind of take a look around at what houses you do pass, this area seems a little ritzier. While the fog currently blankets everything in this obscuring mist, you imagine between the elevation, the nearby coast, and the heavily maintained nature, that this place would probably have some pretty good views if it weren't for the fog. So you can imagine why real estate up here is probably pretty in high competition, even if you cannot see those views for yourselves at the moment. As they lead your way, though, the fog actually does begin to fade. And about 45 minutes into your trek up north, you all turn and are actually able to see that, indeed, further down, you can see not only a view of Laconice itself, the towering jailhouse you had just conquered, along with the other well-maintained, if heavily damaged by the current weather conditions. It's almost like an even more unnatural calm is falling over, eliminating even the fog. And you can see the beautiful, pristine beaches, which, while they are heavily flooded, you can still definitely see some beauty in it. And you can actually see some, unfortunately flooded, but definitely luxurious when they're functional in ideal weather conditions. This almost flotilla of houses spread out from the shoreline, if you want to live directly on the water, with these wooden bridges that seem like they would connect them. Overall, it's just very nice. This seems like a very nice city. However, that niceness does not stay.
Calm before the storm, isn't it?
You feel this itchiness on your neck, and it trails down your neck to your back. Asari, kind of squinting a little bit, you turn and actually have to close your eyes as you feel this like horrible stingy feeling on your face. Paul, you kind of seeing your party members starting to react to something in the air, turn your attention away from the oceanic view towards the distant mountain where you know the breastplate to be causing these unnatural weather patterns. And you see where the fog has cleared, you actually have a view of the towering mountaintop. You can see the stretch of towers and wires that seem like they power the cable car. The cable car itself nowhere in sight, but your attention is more immediately drawn to further up the path, where you see this small grayish-brown cloud beginning to approach. This thick, dusty, almost hurricane of wind. And you have just enough time to raise your shield, covering yourself and the twins, as it blankets all of you. And the air around you swirls and chokes you, as you are caught in the depths of a sandstorm.
Oh, shit.
You're all struggling to breathe. The sand tears and rips at your skin. Asari, with your already existing wounds, you can feel painful stinging as sand clings to your blood and creates this painful reaction. And Ivabin, you can feel your neck and hands like being scratched and torn away at by the whirling, whipping sands. I will say, for party benefit, if you do not cover your mouths during this trek, you will potentially suffocate, and you will be taking some damage along the way from the sand tearing at you.
Great. And I will cover my mouth.
Yeah, I guess Pavilion will have to cover his mouth as well.
Alright.
Anyone else who values breathing.
Yeah. Flower Paul?
Let's see what I have in my Explorer's pack.
Paul, I'm assuming you're just going to cover if you don't have an alternative?
No, I would like to cover my entire face with my shield.
Alright. Easy enough to do.
Or, better idea, I would like to grab on to, I guess, Saria and put bucket on head. There we go. Perfect.
He found another solution to the bucket.
Yeah, did you mean Flower and Fall, Paul, or?
Well, they can't really lead me, so I'll grab like someone who can. Basically, he's gonna grab onto someone who can like get like a decent like grip, and he would like to put bucket on Ned. Boom, face cover.
Or sorry. She's just like, what? It got dark.
Sorry, as you can feel the sand painfully slashing away at your skin, you hear a tinnish bang, and everything around you goes dark, and you can hear your own breathing echoing around as Paul places a bucket over your head and a hand on your shoulder. Your breathing is
I thought he placed it on his own head.
Are you placing it on your head, Paul, or because you said you're going to use your shield to cover your face? So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was thinking both, but I was just like, you know what? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll put it on her head. I'll use my shield to protect me.
Somebody is just gonna dead stop and just be like, I don't see.
So, Matthew,
What's up?
is there any like particular things that could be like included with like the clothes one's wearing?
You can typically there's kind of a vague idea. What clothes does Ivan have? But I'll allow for flavor, just whatever outfit.
He has
Yeah. So
travelers.
So travelers would include like cloak and like scarf and things like that. Hat maybe.
Alright, I'm gonna say he has like a scarf of some kind, like just a piece of cloth.
Yeah,
He's gonna use that to cover his face. Well, his mouth. You get what I meant.
Yeah.
I will tell her, everything is okay. Bucket will protect you.
I like how Paul's mission is to find a way to use a bucket in every situation.
She's just gonna like feel around and like her claws kind of like go into your mouth for a second, and then like she feels your face, and she's just like, "Who is Bucket?"
Who is Bucket? I mean, it's a bucket, but bucket has many uses. It's Mr. Bucket. I think it was like, what's it called? The toy? Mr. Bucket. Balls go inside their head and pop out.
Yeah. Put your balls in my mouth, is Mr. Bucket. Buckets of fun, Mr. Bucket.
Yeah.
Alright. As you all put on your facial protections, Paul covering your face with your shield, placing a bucket over Asari's head, Iva been pulling your scarf up, and Flower and Fall just covering your mouth with your arms and hands.
Like Asari with a bucket on her head. That would be so fucking funny.
Greylog towards the back of the group grips Bryce by the shoulder, and don't think this means you can run off. And Bryce kind of looks almost offended, and just, I'm not an idiot. You said you had a house? And the engineers up towards the front give a nod, calling back to you guys through the storm. We gotta go! Come on! It's just up the road! And they seem like they're intent on sprinting through this, if you guys want to imitate that.
Yeah, probably for the best.
I have a bucket on my head, Matthew. I don't know if I'm going anywhere quickly.
I will lead the way.
Yeah, Paul lead them.
Trust and bucket.
Alright. You all
Just take
start taking off. Paul, are you going to try and maintain a sprint, or are you just going to be leading Asari?
I mean, I'll try to keep like a good fast walk. Obviously, trying to keep not so off. But
Alright, so you guys are going to get slowed. You guys are going to get slowed down a little. Flowerfall. Are you going to be staying with Paul? Because it seems like the engineers and Iva been breaking out into a less inhibited sprint is going to get a little bit ahead of you guys.
Well, it's easier to stick with people.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know if they can fly in these conditions.
Yeah, no, with intense winds like this, probably not.
Like, with how light they are, they'd probably get blown all over the place.
Yeah, just... Alright. Greylog keeping a grip on Bryce, Paul keeping a grip on Asari, Flower and Fall keeping a grip on Paul, and Ivaben keeping a grip on his sanity. You, with no one to slow you down or cling to, just run off to keep pace with the engineers. While you do lose sight of them in the sandstorm quickly, you assume their advice of just follow the path should get you where you need to go. And you guys run or outright sprint as fast as you can up the path. The sands around you are thick and merciless. While Asari, you're protected from the worst of it. Those of you even covering your faces, there's still this like choking that's making it hard to breathe, and you're struggling to see and keep your footing, especially as your wounds only get worse. Through your current exposure, all of you take 4 slashing damage from the sandstorm.
How much health did...
No! No! I'm literally have 4 health. I am down.
All right. Those of you who are trailing a bit at the back, whether it's being slowed down by the sandstorm or just it's a long way out to their house, you're a bit frustrated by the winding road that you're having to follow, as you have no other indicator of direction. As the sand claws and tears at all of you, Paul, as you lead Asari forward, you feel her finally go limp and slouch against you. You have to catch her so that she doesn't like bang her bucket-helmed head against the road, as the sand aggravating her wounds seems to.
Remind you, Asari weighs 375 pounds.
I mean, I can get you. I got you.
Yeah, he's got you.
Does he need to roll strength?
No, there actually is carrying capacity, and I'm fairly certain Paul can carry that. So,
maybe.
Hey, if Avaven took off everything he has on, he could actually carry her.
That's fair. And those of you lugging at the back, Asari just seeming to have been sent into shock by the extra pain of the small, minute nerve damage of the sand, on top of it aggravating their wounds, seems to have finally sent them into a shock that overpowers their adrenaline and bravado, and Asari collapses onto you, Paul, going
Matthew,
completely
can you
limp
remind me,
and
what
passing
happens
out.
if somebody who's down takes damage?
Do I need to roll death saving throws now?
Not yet,
Okay.
and not yet. And for Ivaben's reference, if you take damage, it gets considered an automatic failure of a death save.
So if they don't get to that house before they get damaged by the sandstorm 3 times.
Wow. 3 or less if they roll badly.
Can I crawl in the pocket of someone to save myself from damage?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Paul, would you?
Because I will die.
You can try to get behind my shield, like get on my arm or something. Like,
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, Marcus. She told you could.
all right, Paul. We'll try her best
Matthew,
to
why did
carry.
you have to have it be a sandstorm?
fun fact, I actually had a list of the different weather conditions that could happen, and I just happened to roll sandstorm.
Ouch.
God, it's such a bad time to have a sandstorm.
I'm gonna have to start rolling another character guy.
Nah, you're good. Well, I would say you're good. I'm out of spells and healing powers, so I mean, you know.
I'll just torture Matthew with melody.
But I think we got this.
All right, Paul. So do you want to allow Flower and Fall to take cover in your pockets?
Sure.
All right. Flower and Fall, the sandstorm is particularly brutal for you, as your small size and lack of traditional armament means you have maximum exposure and maximum position for it to hurt. A single slice from these sand dunes could easily, seriously injure a limb. So you scuttle under Paul's armor and take cover in his suit pockets. So which, yeah, since you're in cover, you will be considered shielded from that damage. Paul, as the pixies take cover in your pockets and Asari passes out, what do you want to do?
I guess. What's Jeremy's character's name again?
Greylog.
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 I guess you would like to ask if Greylog if he's near me, or hopefully.
Yeah, he is. Ivaben went off ahead with the engineers, but the rest of you are together.
Yeah.
Raven thought everybody was going to pick up the pace.
I mean, we did-ish, just not, as fast as y'all.
Basically, you can't maintain a dead sprint while also escorting a blind dragonborn with a bucket on their head.
He also passes out.
Yeah, like, she would have passed out no matter what. Just passed out in a dead sprint.
I guess you
Just
really could
drag
call
them.
it a dead sprint.
Paul just drags them to the house.
But I would like to ask Greylog if he has anything he can do with this. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have. I think he mentioned something powers.
Yeah, when you ask him that, he gives a nod and, I can heal her. And he kind of waves at you to step closer and is going to touch her and cast Cure Wounds.
Does Kieran stabilize people who are down?
Yeah, not only does it stabilize, it heals you so you get back up.
Yeah.
Spare the Dying just stabilizes you. Asari, you regain 5 health.
Hey, you won't die to the next damage.
Yeah,
Asari,
I'm safe for now.
Sorry, as you're just in the agony of sand tearing into your bleeding body, you feel yourself lose consciousness, only to kind of snap back awake, still in horrible pain, as Greylog's spell really only just mitigated the damage of the sand itself, and you're still nursing multiple slashes and bolt wounds.
Which are now being carved out by the sand again.
Since Greylog is right there, she's gonna reach up and she's gonna kiss him.
Kiss the bucket on your head. Be like, mwah. Bucket kiss.
Just just the bucket just claims against his head.
The bucket, like, look at your face. Look at your face.
Bring!
Greylog is knocked out by bucket damage anyway.
Why?
Asari goes to kiss Greylog and knocks both of them out so he can't heal her, and she's unconscious again.
And meanwhile, the Vaven and the engineer and the elf get to the house, and they're just like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah, speaking of, Ivaben, as you maintain your dead sprint, you're not sure where the end of the path is, but after an additional nearly half hour of sprinting, your skin being carved and torn away at, you do finally see, or rather hear, the engineers calling out for you.
I imagine he's just in a dead sprint and he's looking down, so he just runs into one of them.
Well, because it's not like a straight going forward path, but you're able to hear the voice of the elf. Dark Elf boy, get in here! Coming from your right, and adjusting your approach. You turn and see the two of them standing, covering their faces with a massive roll-open door, basically like a sort of garage-esque setup. And you thankfully sprint and basically almost dive inside, which gets you out of the storm. But as you turn and see the sands tearing at the ground, sand actually starting to pile loosely into the garage as you climb back to your feet. You don't see your allies behind you.
What happened? Where are they?
Well, the storm can't have gotten all of them. Maybe they got lost. We'll wait. You head inside and rest.
David's going to say, I'm going to wait for them.
Good man.
I'm covered here, so...
Alright, just...
Winces rubbing at the scrapes and stuff. Honestly, between a mix of, like, the sting and the, like, sand probably getting in his eyes probably water a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And the elf kind of looks at you sympathetically and... Alright, just make sure you keep your mouth covered. As you can see, him and the engineer both have scarves basically tied around their face, much like you. For those of you who had fallen behind,
imagine if they would
do you guys resume what you...
there on the ground. Like he hasn't gotten up.
Alright. Paul, are you going to continue what you had been doing, or are you going to take the bucket off of Asari's head so you guys can speed up a bit?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's go.
Alright, Paul?
Rip Austin. Austin, you're muted.
Right.
I mean, if she's okay with it, Buckethead continues.
Alright.
Buckethead
I mean, like,
continues.
you can lead someone and kind of run, not at full speed, but...
That's what I was, mentioning earlier. Like, he's, kind of, he's obviously picking up the pace, but not, obviously not leaving her behind.
Yeah, and basically, bear in mind that with Ivaben at a dead sprint, it still took him nearly a half hour to get to their house.
They seriously miscalculated how long it would take to get to their house.
I think they, to be fair, they, basically it was either hole up in the prison with the bandits, who were, still a little on the hostile side, or, take your chances to get to their house. And, to be fair, the sandstorm's probably the most dangerous. You guys just got unlucky.
I'm gonna be honest, if I was doing it, I would've just okay, I'm just going to ignore Sandstorm, because that'd be kind of dickish if they just had a fight. And one of them's on low
Well, feel free to DM instead.
Oh no.
I wouldn't
Sassy
be
Maddie.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, if I ever do DM, I probably wouldn't be, it'd probably, I'd cut him a break.
That first bandit fight was me cutting you a break. The rest of this is telling a story.
Yeah, but it's not much of a story if they wind up dying in a sandstorm.
Oh, we're not gonna die.
It's fine.
We have Buckethead, man.
Yeah, Greylog alone can still heal Asari twice more.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the damage earlier. You do that.
That being said, continuing your half-blind, still, running, but not able to dead sprint trek. You guys continue working your way up the winding roads, cutting through the more upper-class district of Laconice. It takes you guys a lot longer, nearly an additional hour. So I've been, from your perspective, you've been waiting for about 20-30 minutes. Flower and Fall, you're exempt being in Paul's pocket, but the rest of you take an additional 3 slashing as the sand continues to rip and tear away at you. But Ivaben, as you and the engineers watch with both bated breath and choking breath, the sand beginning to pile up harshly in the garage. Not enough to where you're having to wade through it, but enough to where it's definitely don't want to wear socks in here. You can finally make out the running silhouettes of the party darting their way up the road. And the elf gives a whistle that all of you can hear piercing through the wind and sand. Over here!
Raven will also call out as well.
All right, you guys can hear the voice of the elf and the dark elf calling to you from your right side, and adjusting your pathway, managed to dart inside, and the two of them, once they're sure all of you are in, and do a quick head count, yank the garage shut, and as it closes, you can still hear the whipping sands and winds outside, but you appear to be safe for now. And rather than the sunlight, what little of it was cutting through the sand, as instead your eyes kind of adjusting as you are now in a large dark room with a small dim bulb lighting it up. Is everyone okay?
Barely.
The two of them pull their scarves off, and kind of the elf shakes his head and like kicks at some of the sand that's built up and dusts at his pants. And well, aren't you guys the picture of bad luck? But looks like you all made it here in more or less one piece.
So it would seem.
Alright, well, I'll show you guys to the guest room, I guess. Feel free to leave your stuff wherever you like. We're not... And he kind of squints a bit at Bryce. We're not planning on taking nothing, but Bryce kind of rolls his eyes and holds up a hand. I'll just hold on to mine, thanks. The two of them, after giving you guys a moment to catch your breath, take you through a set of double doors into the rest of the house. You had not gotten a good look at the house because of the sandstorm, but you could gauge from how far they are from the city, how close they are to the lake, the gorgeous view. This is probably some good real estate, and that appears to be the case. As heading through their house, it's no mansion. It's not like something you're used to, Paul, but it's a relatively lavish house. Very nice, colorful carpeting. As your eyes adjust to the dim light, you pass by a nice kitchen, and taking you guys upstairs, the human engineer smiles and throws open a set of double doors. And alright, this is our guest bedroom, but there's an awful lot of you, so the rest of y'all who don't take this room can take the couches and sitting area downstairs by the fireplace. It'll be comfortable, don't worry, at least for tonight.
Vaven will say, I think considering I don't need a rest area very long, I can make do with the couch.
Alright. So does anyone want to volunteer to take the guest bedroom? Those who don't will be...
Yeah, Asari and Greylog could probably take it, since they'll probably sleep together.
Alright. He smiles to the two of you and nods. Alright, I'll show the rest of you to the living area. Asari, as the party departs, you and Greylog are left in the guest bedroom. The guest bedroom is relatively nice. It's spacious.
Before the others leave, I want to give Paul his bucket back.
Alright. Taking the bucket off your head, you hand it to Paul. And the bedroom itself is, again, relatively nice.
So what time of day is it?
At this point, it's starting to get dark. I'd say it's probably around, easily 11 by now.
Alright.
And as Asari and Greylog are left in the guest bedroom, the rest of you are taken downstairs to the living space, where there are several couches and armchairs that you all can sleep in. There's a nice fireplace with the elf currently getting a fire started. And the human pipes up.
There's sand coming down the chimney.
Oh, yeah. And it looks to be that's why he's having to, like, bend over and, like, get it going, because not only have they been away for a while, but, basically it's constantly getting either rained on or sanded on, so... it ain't much, but it should do, and, least we could do is, maybe make y'all some, brekkie in the morning, and, he kind of tilts his head. Might be able to take care of some of your clothes. I don't know nothing about washing armor, but I can certainly make sure your clothes are taken care of.
Is there a washroom in the bedroom?
Not in the bedroom, but like basically, like it. You know, you can basically feel free to say like that over the course of the upcoming rest, you can like ask the homeowners to like wash your things and make sure you don't have sand and rainwater everywhere.
Yeah.
After a moment,
I will spend some of the long rest to help clean.
Okay. Flowerfall, Ivabin, anything of note you want to do over the course of the long rest?
Well, if Avon would have a very short long rest, so...
Okay.
Because he's an elf, so he doesn't need a super long rest.
Yeah, it's, you just need to meditate for a few hours and then you're good. And, Flower and Fall, do you want to do anything? You don't have to, just if you want to get anything done before you go down for your long rest or during it.
Well, I'll clean up the armor since it got dusted on.
Alright. Asari and Greylog, you have a nice, quiet night in the guest bedroom. And those of you down in the living area have a peaceful enough settle down. You can hear the whipping sands and storm outside. Ivabin, you kind of dully note, as you make yourself comfortable on a couch, that you can indeed see sand funneling down the chimney and making every effort in the world to put out the fire. Paul assists the two with getting their home cleaned and livable. And Flower and Fall, you quietly polish your armor. As you all take your time to process the events, Bryce sits in an armchair and kind of suspiciously watches all of you. Seeming like he has the good sense to not attempt to run out in the middle of the sandstorm, but also not exactly happy with the current situation either. And as his leg kind of bobs up and down with nerves, he leans back and gives a sigh before allowing his eyes to fall closed, although his breathing does not settle immediately. As you all bunk down for the night, getting as good of a sleep as you can, the sandstorm's sounds outside becoming less bothersome and more almost comfortable in a way. That sort of sensation you get of being in a car or in your house during a rain, and it makes the rain into this almost like comforting feeling. You all fall into a comfortable enough sleep. Asari painfully having Greylog help with your wounds. The rest of you cleaning, polishing your belongings, and going down for a rest. You all get a long rest.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, after Vaven took
And
his long rest, he was gonna kind of just look around the place while everybody else was asleep.
sure, you just kind of wandering, not looking for anything in particular.
Yeah, just kind of looking around the place, just trying to, because now he's awake, and now I was just kind of waiting for anybody else to wake up.
Sure. Yeah, you got a few hours. Yeah, since you're not looking for anything in particular, you don't have to roll. As you explore the estate, careful not to go outside, as it still sounds like the sandstorm's going. But you take your time to look around. Overall, this appears to be a relatively well-kept place, especially with Paul and the two homeowners cleaning it up. Although you do see, especially in the garage, kind of peeking back out the way you would come in, and some dust and sand billowing in as the door opens. You can see pieces of barrels and boats and boxes and just all sorts of scrap pieces. It appears like the furnace below the jailhouse is not the only thing this place these people build in their spare time. Although whether they're building or unbuilding for parts, these things you don't know. The inside of the house itself is large and open. You get the impression that it would be kind of uncomfortable in its own way to live in for two people, but given that they seem to have a pretty luxurious lifestyle, you can't exactly fault them for going above and beyond. Not troubling yourself too much with the bedrooms and risking disturbing them or your party mates. You can see various paintings of the two of them together, and the pieces of various projects of theirs scattered around here and there. Overall, it's a nice enough place, and you can see why they enjoy living here, even if it is quite a walk out from the rest of the city.
Fair enough.
As you finish your look around, you can hear the storm outside begin to ebb and finally stop. And as you return to the living area, it seems that the rest of the party has noticed it too. All of you, even those in the guest bedroom, begin to awaken, as not by the sound of a storm, but by the lack of it. As it appears, as Ivan had predicted, another calm has befallen Laconice for the time being. As you all wake up, the homeowners wake up not that long after, as while you had not seen them during your wandering, Ivan, you did estimate that the elf would likely be waking up early too. But wherever he was, you didn't run into him as the two come downstairs to where all of you are, along with Asari and Greylog, not too long after all of you wake up. And the human gives a smile and sounds like the storm's cleared up. We can get you guys some food before we get you up the mountain.
It seemed like that cleared very quickly.
Some food.
He gives a bit of...
Some food sounds delicious.
Lazaro gives a nod and heads off to the kitchen, while Harold looks to you, Ivan, and gives a bit of a shrug. And it's unpredictable. The calms come here and there, but something's always following right up after them, and it only lasts for a few hours. He kind of scratches the back of his head, and it's chaos, to put it quite bluntly. But let's not look a gift horse in the mouth, I say. While we'd love to host y'all for longer, I reckon you'd be doing much better good up on the mountain.
In the end, yes.
Did-
Seems that would be the case.
It doesn't take long once his boyfriend joins him for the two of them to get breakfast sorted for all of you. It's a relatively humble meal. Some waffles and a side of bacon, but it's serviceable easily. And as you all eat, Bryce getting a smaller portion, but still being served, kind of rolling his eyes a little bit, stares at all of you contemplatively.
You tired, Matthew?
A little bit, but I'll be right. Stares at all of you contemplatively, but otherwise does not challenge the direction of the party for now. And once breakfast is eaten, does anyone have anything they'd like to do before heading out with the three towards the tramcar station?
I would like to talk to this captain.
All right, easily done. As the if you want, you can do it while the two of you, or while all of you are eating breakfast, unless you specifically want to talk to him in private.
Nah.
All right, so this will be at the breakfast table, so the rest of you can participate as you wish. So,
yeah.
Paul, if you would like to engage with Bryce Thorne.
Bad time go party goes I guess while he's eating, he'll kind of just light his food. He'll stop eating for a minute, and so about this so-called monster that you say exists. What should we know about it?
Bryce rolls his eyes a bit at your first phrasing, but leans forward and ran into it while trying to find a place to store the goods. I always figured that rabble wasn't going to stay in line for long, so I certainly wasn't going to trust them to guard it. And he pats at his coat pocket where you know his pistol to be. I may be fast, but I can still only fire one shot. But I know how to keep people in line, if nothing else. Time in the army will do that to you.
Yeah, nice.
He gives a bit of a nod. Aye. Anyway. Your monster is a dragon. Like a snake, but with wings.
Wait, what? Like a snake with wings.
I mean, this is the armor of Quetzalcoatl, right?
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl's breastplate.
So basically, it's like a miniature version of Quetzal. Because he's a snake with wings, right?
Yeah, snake. That's what he said. Snake with wings.
Well, that's what like.
Quetzalcoatl is usually depicted as a winged serpent.
So it's a mini version of the god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He thinks for a moment, and luckily it's a bit of a little one, and it talks. Now, at first, I reckon that it was planning on just eating me and being done with it, because it can talk, but people aren't supposed to go up there, and it wasn't willing to take any chances, especially on this fool, and he points to himself. But I got lucky. Even dragons have things they're afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know what someone's afraid of, it's easy to get them to, and he flexes his fingers. Listen well. I had no intention of taking the armor, at least not until you guys seemed pretty convinced that it's something valuable. But I've been storing our earnings
Sorry.
up there with...
Did you say something about a dragon?
Aye. Welcome back, Scales. Aye. Your monster up at the top is a snake with wings. Big-ass dragon, keeping the breastplate safe. I managed to coerce it into guarding my earnings as long as I didn't touch the armor. Although, honestly, I reckon I could take it if I really wanted to. I was hoping maybe to snag it once things blew over a little bit, but he gives a bit of a shrug.
Kind of dragon is it?
Well, apparently you can talk.
He gives a bit of a shrug. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I can talk to them.
Maybe. But I wouldn't count on it. That thing's, cranky.
Maybe we can have a nice.
Has she not been eating?
Was that in character? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, it was?
He said yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in character.
Okay. Kind of gives a bit of a shrug. Maybe. Haven't exactly been keeping track of where cattle's been going lately.
I'll turn. They wouldn't know. You said it had a weakness.
Oi, a phobia. If you know what it's afraid of, won't come anywhere near you. Thing gets plumb scared clean off the mountain while I take care of business.
What scares it?
He smirks and holds up a finger. I'm not telling you nothing until I'm sure that we have an even split. If I just tell you...
going to just draw an arrow right in front of his face.
He stares at you, not even looking at the arrow, just stares at you, and... You can kill me right here, just as you could have killed me at the prison. But then, you won't know its weakness, and the dragon will kill you all. But by all means...
I'm pretty good at killing things.
He kind of smiles, and if you're so confident, let loose, Dark Elf.
I have a gun. It
And
is
he's
not
going-
worth it.
And he's going to shoot himself by his arrows. And
Yeah.
as he says that, he's going to say,
You're breaking apart real bad.
Yeah, we can hear you now. What did Ivan say before he
he
does?
backed up and shot him in the leg instead to try and knock him to the ground. And he's going to say, "Oh, there are worse things than death that can make people talk." As he draws one of his swords.
Alright. What are the rest of you doing while this happens?
I guess I will get in between them now that escalated this far. Yeah, Paul will kind of just stand up and
Just wait and see how it plays out.
and Paul will stand and put like his hand to like more towards the Ivan, I think it was his
Yeah,
name.
Ivan.
But like kind of, he will put a hand like
making sure he's not going to the captain to say he won't do anything. Just, I think both of you need to chill.
Everyone's going to say, hey, you told me not to kill anyone. I'm specifically not going to kill him.
Well, I do appreciate not killing anyone, but frankly, it seems unnecessary. Just
I'm not going to have some piece of trash like him trying to dictate to me. We defeated him. He's going to do what we want.
The elf has a point. Oh.
The fact that he is even alive is because we have allowed it.
well,
I just want to remind him that we're the ones holding the power here.
and you'll kind of look at the captain and just be like, well, I don't think he really cares about who holds the power of who. Well, I guess he prefers if he held the power, but that's not the case. But
And if he thinks he's entitled to anything, to any part of this, whatever we're looking for, he seems to misunderstand the situation he's in.
well, to be honest, I don't really care too much about this whole fear thing. I don't plan on using this fear to it. If it can talk, then maybe I can have a conversation with it. Who knows? Because something else.
I'm assuming
Could
Paul is
also
stopping a
maybe
Raven from doing
persuade the
anything.
dragon.
Well, he's getting between you two, so if you try to shoot right around him, but he's not going to physically grab onto you. Just basically,
Basically, he's making it clear he doesn't want you to, but he's not actually physically stopping you.
yeah.
Okay. Because the already shot him in the leg.
Yeah, he's on the ground clutching at it. Although you can see he smirks as you assert your dominance over him.
But
Now I'm going to try to make him. I like having backup plans, so I'm going to use everything that I know to try and make him talk short of killing him. But that's a wide range of possibilities. Are you going to stop me?
Frankly, I probably won't stop you, but I also won't stay here. If you do, if this continues onward, I'll just go off. I'll start walking towards this, I guess, serpent or dragon of sort. But I understand backup plans are good, but I'm also wondering something that did occur to me. Pretty much after we get this plate, what then? Will this storm follow us as long as we have the plate? Is that something we talked about beforehand?
Nobody knows for sure. Although, I will say, from what you were told, it seems like the storms didn't start immediately after. Because you have to imagine that if disasters like this follow it, that nobody in their right mind would want to have it. And this Divine Council happens every 100 years, and by your reckoning, continents don't get besieged by chaotic weather patterns every 100 years. So between that and the timing of it, it seems like it started started a while after the breastplate was here. Although that was the clue that led you guys to assume that it was here. As far as you know, if they are connected, it seems indirect. You don't know whether it's something to do with this dragon, something that happened that you're unaware of, or if maybe it is the breastplate, but it's on like a delay of some kind. You're not.
It's like a gradual.
Sure, but yeah.
I took it as like maybe like it takes time, like it just as it stayed here, the longer and longer stayed here, it got worse and worse. Well, either way, essentially put, the breastplate seems like it'd be dangerous to have in one place for too long, but sadly it's the first thing that we would at least encounter that we need. But yeah, if you wish to torture him and whatever, be my guest. I don't want to waste more time sitting here trying to get information out.
I would like to step up to Bryce. Does he still have the arrow in his leg?
Yes.
Asari is going to push it with her foot, and she's going to like keep eye contact with him. You will tell her.
He, to his credit, maintains his cool, although you can see him sweating and grinding his teeth as he attempts to keep that straight face to avoid.
As that's happening, Avima's going to say, let's take this outside. I'd hate to ruin the floors of our new friends.
Yeah, please don't. But
and he's going to drag him outside.
As he does that, since Paul, sounds like you're walking out anyway. Real quick, Flower and Fall, what are you doing?
Flower and Fall are looking very uncomfortable. Like, is this really necessary?
Paul, and I'm assuming Flower and Fall on his shoulder, as Iva Ben and Asari dragging Bryce along with exit out with you to the outside. Bryce calls out, "Hey, Amma!"
He'll look over at Bryce.
Yeah. You can see him very visibly sweating and panting now, but gives you a smile and I'll tell you what you want to know. If you, and he points to you specifically, swear to me on your life that you and your friends will let me go.
I'm assuming Avaben and them can hear him.
Yeah, no, you're dragging him.
Avaben will stop and say, I can agree to that. If, of course, your proposition is to Paul, so I will let him decide.
Wow. I don't think, as you can kind of see, I don't exactly have control. I'm not exactly trying to control them.
I can't hear you over all the noise.
Yeah, you're moving your mic around too much.
But, well, as you can kind of see, it's not as I have control over these people, though. if I do say my word, if I give my word, I will protect you. But
He kind of wiggles the hand that that Asari and Ivabin are dragging him by, and shake my hand. I like to think that fall in line if your life depends on it.
I mean, he'll look to the others, and well, he'll look to more Saban,
Avaven.
Avaven's the one who said he would be okay with it. What's Amanda's?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was like, take the
I struggle with names too. I get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, your name is. We've been playing for like years. What's your name again? Yeah, he'll look to her and be like,
It's Brittany.
but I want to say
Logan.
Yeah, I want to say Loki for some reason. No, but
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
but he'll look over to her and be like, "Is this agreeable to you?"
She kind of gives a short, curt nod.
Bryce kind of pulls the arm he had wiggled out of your grip, Asari, if you allow it.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce smiles and holds the hand out to you, Paul, and it'll be an oath in blood. I won't bring harm to you as long as you and your friends don't bring harm to me.
I definitely can see this being regretful. He will grab his hand and be like, as long as that is agreeable, if you don't bring any harm to us, if that be directly or indirectly.
He kind of clicks his tongue a little bit. Smart. You done this sort of thing before?
I've seen, I guess you could say I've dealt with some people, maybe. But as long as no harm comes to us from you, both again, indirectly or directly, then I'm okay with these terms.
He smiles and, alright, as long as you're okay with it going the opposite way.
The opposite way? Oh, not hurting him.
He gives a nod. Aye.
Yeah. That is okay. He'll proceed to shake his hand. Give a little...
As the two of you shake hands, you can almost feel this unnatural surge passing between your palms. And Paul, given your upbringing, you would know the nature of what you just did. The gods are watching how this deal plays out.
And Raven's going to say, now if you tell our friend the information, I will let you go, and I'll even remove that arrow in a way that will not cause you any further harm.
He gives a nod. Alright. He considers for a long moment, almost like weighing the options in his head. And Paul, you know enough people like this to know this is the expression of someone who's trying desperately to find any way to get a final one-up before making his escape. But as far as you can tell, it seems like he doesn't settle on anything useful, and with a sigh, clicks his tongue and... Frogs.
Well, isn't that ironic?
Interesting.
Aye. So much as here's a ribbit, thing slithers back down the mountain in a panic. I only found out because, he smiles. I had a mask. Mask like a frog. it fell out of my pocket whenever it lunged at me, and thing gave a girly little shriek and slid it off into the clouds.
Can the druid turn?
Make frog noises.
Can the druid turn into a frog?
Yeah, I can turn into a frog easily enough.
Right. Well,
Well, that too.
With that information being given, Vaden will, as he says, let him go, and he'll remove the arrow, and because I think there's a specific way to remove an arrow that won't cause any further harm.
Yeah, you want to push it all the way through rather than yanking it out.
So Vaden will remove the arrow in the way that causes him no further harm.
Bryce gives a wince but an assenting nod as you bend down to do this, and as you yank the arrow out through the other side of his leg, he winces and carefully puts his weight. You can tell he definitely has a limp, but is able to maintain his composure as he bites his tongue and sweats before forcing himself to stand up, and smiles to you, Paul, and holds up the hand he had shaken with you. We have an accord. Now, if you'll excuse me, got a life you've upended twice over to put back together.
Alright then. Well, I guess we'll be on our way then.
He kind of rolls his eyes and...
Before we turn away...
Yes?
I'm gonna let Bryce walk off, and then I want to ask Paul something.
Alright. So, Bryce, I'll say if you're waiting until he walks away then, Bryce gives one final disdainful look over his shoulder before straightening his faded white-green jacket and limping in pain from the numerous injuries he's sporting now, starts limping back down the path and eventually fading out of sight.
Also, as he leaves, Vaven will also say, see, just the threat was enough. Nothing to worry about.
And, sorry, you wanted to say something to Paul?
Indeed, a man who has one of his own skin. Yes, she is going to walk over to him and kind of place a hand on his shoulder. Can I ask you a personal question?
I mean, you may. Will I have an answer? I can't guarantee, I guess.
Which gods do you serve?
Gods?
He's a paladin.
Indeed.
Well...
Yeah, paladins, to be fair, aren't explicitly religious, but...
Yeah. That's
they serve a code of honor, not a god. That is a common misconception, though. Like, you're not the only person who makes that.
Yeah, clerics are typically
makes that mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I don't really have a god that I, really look forward to.
You are an interesting human. She kind of gives him a pat.
And he'll, in a questioning manner, thanks. Alright. Paul will continue to walk.
That's all I had.
Alright.
Paul walks away.
Yeah, Paul walks away. Alright. The engineers nod, seeming similar to Flower and Fall, equally a bit discomforted by the display of brutality. But
Raven is
Lazaro
going to say to them, "I'm sorry you had to be witness to that."
Yeah, Lazaro seems to put himself together the quickest and shakes his head. Well, if I'm being honest, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, but yeah. He kind of pats his boyfriend on the shoulder in concern, and he kind of shakes his head. And right, cable car station's just up the road. If we're lucky, we can get you guys up there before the calm passes.
Well,
Right, let's go.
yeah, let's go before it comes, or before it passes.
Yeah, the two of them give urgent nods and lead the way up the path. You can see the pristine lake stretching ahead of you. Those of you somewhat familiar with the area would know this as the Sea of Kinneret. The lake that divides the cities of this region of Levant from each other. The engineers guide you up the path. Paul, not certain you'll use the information that the bandit gave you, but you now have signed a God-observed oath that the two of you cannot bring each other to direct or indirect harm. Iva Ben and Asari, confident that your interrogation methods might have just gotten you a potential exploitative weakness over the dragon that appears to be guarding the wind breastplate, a crippling phobia of frogs, where the mere sight or sound of one is enough to send the poor thing running. Something that Greylog is more than capable.
I have one question.
What's up?
With Asari being a dragonborn and being raised by dragonborns, what would she know about dragons?
We'll get to that off screen, just because that'd be a lot to cover at the last minute.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to wrap up.
Yeah. Flower and Fall, a little discomforted by the display. A little uncertain of your newfound allies, as they seem well-meaning, but certainly more brutal than what you're used to. And I imagine somewhat mixed feelings about the idea of exploiting the Guardian of the Breastplate's personal phobia to get a hold of the treasure it's guarding.
Hey, better than killing it, right?
Fair. But it is a plan nonetheless. And as the engineers guide you all up the path around the Sea of Kinneret towards the cable car station, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Hey. Alright, get those links ready. Because I can't do them.
Yeah, no worries, I got it. So, just gotta pull everything I need up, sorry. I guess I'll say while I'm pulling everything up, you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like this party's conflict is going to be how far some of them are willing to go to achieve their goals.
Yeah. Alright. If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/GrahamCrackers, GrameCrackers, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Taking place in the same campaign setting, but quite a bit in the past, as the party attempts to unravel the cultish mystery unfurling in a distant land. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info, resurrected from the grave like a foul necromancer. Check out the link that I am going to post in chat momentarily to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly and support our episodes. Post on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, wherever you happen to get yours from. For audio listeners, catch us live on, we are going to be switching over to Mondays instead of Wednesdays from now on. So if you want to catch this live, check out the Odd Tornado Productions YouTube and Twitch channels at 9:30 Central Daylight time on Mondays to see this campaign live. And check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Dark Elf Rangers Twitch channel at twitch.tv/killer5. That's 5 with a PH. Please don't misspell it. He hates when you do that.
I mean, I don't really give a fuck. I only started doing that because the regular spelling keeps being taken, or my accounts that have that name, wind up having a problem, and I have to make new accounts.
Yeah, I get that. I mean,
Yeah, it was just for the bit more than anything.
Which is why I stopped playing fucking League of Legends.
If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. I'm about to post that link. Or on Ko-fi at kofi.com/oddtornadoproductions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd, TNO capitalized. And if you enjoyed this campaign and want to see more from this party, plus a few extras, check out our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, being streamed same channels on Tuesdays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of nobles and squires unraveling a political conspiracy that threatens their homelands. But can they stand each other long enough to do that? And if you really like my DMing and desperately want to experience it for yourself, I'm currently putting together a party for a paid campaign that will be taking place on weekends, the Feast of Judgment, taking place in the same campaign setting but in the distant future, where armies have grown, technology is advancing, and adventurers are slowly becoming irrelevant. Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching.